Let's talk about Whitney Cummings, shall we? And what an absolute shit show this has become. What a PR disaster. She either thinks the public are absolutely thick as pig shit, or she just lacks all self-awareness because she's in this bubble like those celebrities are. I'm not sure which one it is, but they do think they are more self-aware than you and I, don't they? But they're not, because, you know, 12 to 20,000 people commenting on videos can't all be wrong. Can they, Whitney? No. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I don't really know much about Whitney, never watched the videos. I've seen her on certain podcasts. Didn't really think much about her, to be honest. I couldn't care less about her. I did actually have some kind of red flags about her, thinking you're a little bit batshit. You come across a little bit cuckoo, mentally and emotionally, and I believe she has had therapy, might be in therapy, had a bad childhood, blah, blah, blah. Which comedian hasn't, by the way? And which person hasn't? We've all been through adversity. And I can see it coming out in the way she acts, because that's what happens with trauma, right? It projects. We project it unconsciously in how we react. Okay, so where am I going with this? Right, well, the thing about Whitney Cummings is, at the moment, this Riyadh comedy festival thing, she's blatantly just trying to pull the wool over the public's eyes and making excuses for something that just didn't happen, and avoiding to confront what literally thousands of people in the comment section are saying about her, where the issue lies. That's the biggest problem with it all right now. So first of all, for me, it started with the whole D'Elia thing, right? Chris D'Elia, when it all came out a bit about his alleged accusations, okay, back in COVID, I think it was 2020, certainly 2021, and his life went to a shambles. He lost everything. He lost I think he was on a show called You on Netflix. He lost all this kind of stuff, obviously lost brand deals. He's lost probably tens of thousands of dollars, right? Let's be frank about it. I don't have an opinion on what's gone on. I don't know the facts. Couldn't care less, to be fair. Obviously don't want people hurt about or anything like that, but I couldn't care less about Chris D'Elia. I couldn't give a shit about him. The problem is, him and Whitney Cummings were good friends at one point, apparently. Yet when his accusations came out, whether they're false or whether they're truthful accusations, regardless, when they came out, what did she do? Like any good friend would, right? She outed him and cut him off publicly via Twitter. She tweeted to say, using his name specifically, basically saying it's predatory behavior. I'm like ad-libbing here, along the lines of it's predatory behavior and it's wrong, and, you know, basically she's cutting herself off and it's terrible, right? Which obviously shook Chris D'Elia up. Absolute piece of shit scumbag move to do that. It's one thing thinking it of your friend, and listen, if you genuinely believe that one of your good friends would do that, then that's, I guess, is okay. Number one, do you really know him on a deep level, though? Is he truly your friend? Number two is, why the fuck would you publicly broadcast your thoughts and openly just cut ties with him? We know why. Because all you care about is yourself and your image. That's all you care about. It's all about me, me, me. That's all it's been about. All about likes, all about being the American sweetheart darling, the whiter than white princess. Women's rights, empower women, go women, Me Too movement, woo! That's all she's about. She's trying to see good and do good in the public's eye, and it's all a PR stunt. She is a walking billboard for herself, and it's always been that way. That's why there's loads of red flags, and she's psychologically and emotionally damaged. It's easy to see, but to do that to your alleged friend in public and cut ties, what a fucking scumbag move. Yeah, if he's done wrong, that's one thing, but have the conversation in private, motherfucker. Don't do it in public. It's so shitty and weak, and it shows more about you than about him, because you're making it about you again, that you want to do the right thing and be seen to do the right thing. Protect your sisters, bro. Woo. Yeah, we all get it. Scumbag fucking Hollywood move. And then she does a Me Too special, which I've not seen. I'm not even going to admit and say I've seen it. I believe there's sort of, she's covering every angle, I believe, you know, all different things to try and make it more in the middle and independent, if you will. But she's still centered around Me Too, and a lot about her childhood and, you know, getting propositioned by other comedians on the road or other men on the road, proposition about her life. Again, it's about her. All she gives a shit about is her, but she thinks she's doing it for the public, to help the public. No, you're doing it about you, because you want likes, validation and approval like the rest of the fuckers from Hollywood. You're no different. You're absolutely no different. And Chris D'Elia said something pretty smart, actually, a couple of weeks ago on his podcast, and he said, you know, you're either an activist or you're a comedian. You can't be fucking in between. So all these Andrew Schultz people and all these people who are interviewing politicians and having, like, Tim Dillons and all these people, it's like, what the fuck are you? Who are you? You can't be this hybrid. Oh, I'm a comedian and I'm an activist and I'm into politics and I want to speak super out my depth about all these topics that I fucking haven't got a clue about. Unbelievable. And they all think they're super smarter than they are, when they're not. The reality is most of them are thick as pig shit and have no self-awareness, and the public are onto it and we know what they're doing. So when Cummings now does this Me Too movement and she gets invited to go to Riyadh Comedy Festival like the other top 50 assassins in the world, she says yes, she wants the bag. Don't blame her, actually. Don't blame her for getting the bag. You know, if you're getting nearly $1 million or upwards of $1 million to do a set, you're going to do it. The problem is, a little bit contradicting though, right? On one hand, you're supporting this Me Too movement, power to the women, yet you go into a fucking government and a country that is the complete opposite of what they think of women. Yes, they are more modern, Saudi Arabia that is, than they've ever been. Culturally, they're trying to show off, but it's all a fucking PR stunt. We know this. When it matters, they're showing it in public. I'm going to get some comedians over. We're going to have all these big music festivals. You know, we're going to do this, all the boxing, all the sports. We're going to do all this to make sure and make it seem like we're a big progressive country. They're still executing people, ladies and gentlemen. They're still killing people for having an opinion on their country. Women were only allowed to drive in 2018. So the fact that Whitney Cummings is now saying that we're all missing the point and that we're racist and that she's, you know, she's basically clutching onto any excuse as to why she went over there, other than the excuse that we're all bringing up. No, it's because you fucking said one thing and you did the other, like Bill Burr. You went over and got blood money from a country you execute your type, your women, your powerful women. But you're okay with that, right? It's so two-faced, it's so Hollywood, and it needs to be spoken about. But we're all wrong. All the people in the comments are wrong, right? All of us are wrong. All the thousands of people who are calling her out on it are all wrong, but she's right. You're just racist. No, it's nothing to do with racism. Stop clutching at fucking straws. It's not to do with racism. Answer the question. Why did you go to Saudi Arabia, where women are actually a minority and they're publicly beheading people? Why did you go there? Why? If you're so pro-women and you're so pro-Me Too and you're so anti that type of establishment, why the fuck did you go over there? We know why you went over there. It's woeful, it's shameful, and these people think the shit don't stink, but they won't admit it. They skirt around the edges, like Bill Burr's doing the exact same thing. He's using an excuse to get out of something other than what the public are demanding and talking about. We're not saying about them not progressing, about them having Starbucks and all these different shops. We couldn't give a fuck about that. That's not the question we're asking. We're asking, why did you go when you said one thing and you're doing the other? But they're all too fucking spineless to answer it. Bitch ass moves.